Luka not being around anymore, are we going to see a kind of a substantially different type of Iowa offense this year?
Yeah, to an extent, but I also think that the guys that we have coming back is still going to be the up-tempo offense that Coach McCaffery has thrived on since he's been here, and we're going to try to put as much points up as possible on the board and try to speed teams up on the defensive end as well. Me moving over to guard allows me to kind of look for my shot more and coming off screens, working off the ball a lot more, tiring out the defender that way instead of more off the dribble. So it's been good so far with Joe Lunardi at the point guard. Obviously, Connor can slide to the point guard as well. But Connor's done a great job of screening for people. He's playing many different positions, and it really opens up the offense when you have guys like that to do that.
In terms of my rehab, knowing that I had that date of, I had it in my head, okay, we come back to school August 23rd, 24th, whatever. I want to be ready by September 1st for baseball. And so I had that in my head. So that's what I was working towards this whole off season was I'm going to be ready by September 1st. And I was. And so I think the fact that I had baseball, I had that fall season to kind of base that on, it got me ready for basketball as well. Just because, now my body's in a place that, would I have pushed myself otherwise? Probably, yeah. But just having, I'm very much like a schedule, set in time person. So having that to follow, I think really helped. And Jabo also, he had a lot of really good advice on things that sped up the process, I would say. And also, learning from my first surgery, my right leg, I didn't do nearly as good of a job as I did with my left leg just because I had my surgery on my right side first. So I learned from that, and then I feel like that even just sped up the process even more. So it was baseball, it was basketball, it was learning from both surgeries, all of the above.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. It definitely was something I struggled on at first. But when Coach McCaffery met with me and listed things out that I could provide for this team and kind of not think selfishly, but solidify my career to one last year of bringing this team to the NCAA tournament, a team that no one expects to be good this year, and we know in the locker room that we have all the pieces together to make that happen. And that's kind of why I wanted to come back, to kind of be that leader, experienced guy. It's me, Connor on the floor, kind of the vets on the floor now, and Joe Lunardi's had 3 years under his belt as well. But it's really us two that can kind of carry this team to the heights of getting the NCAA tournament, that we truly believe that we have the potential to get there. So that's the main reason why I decided to come back.
My brother Patrick, Aaron Eulis, Tony Perkins, all guys that kind of have had to navigate kind of their role among a team with guys that Weezy's gonna play 35 minutes, Luke's gonna play 35 minutes. Well, now that's a lot of game time that you're gonna have to make up. So where are we gonna fill that in at? And I think you learn that in practice, and so that's where a lot of guys have been stepping in and been able to make up that difference and learn, as I said.
I knew we were gonna stay forever together, so I knew he was going to go his way, I was going to go my way.
You went through
and then when
some
we
hip injuries
are able to meet up,
2 years ago. What did that teach you?
knowing we're not together.
Going into this year, you had a bigger last year. What did that experience teach you, and how did it make you a better fighter and a better person?
Yeah, I've been through a lot of injuries and adversity since I've been here in Iowa. The fact that I was able to go through adversity like that has made me a better person, on the court and especially off the court as well. Because I really appreciate the good times and I understand the bad times. So the more that I can kind of decipher between the two, the better I'll be off in the long run. Just like Connor going through hip surgeries this last year, I kind of used my experience of my injuries to help him along the way. So it's been a fun ride so far, trying to learn those experiences, especially this year. Me being a leader of this team and experienced guy trying to help the younger guys on the team to what it's going to be like to play in the Big Ten, what's it going to be like to play in a crowded Breslin Center, and with fans yelling at you nonstop during the game. That's hard to play with and play against. So just trying to use all the games that I played, all the experiences I've had to continue to help the younger guys out. Definitely after all the adversity I've been through.
Jordan,
I'll say he's unique.
On that, knowing what you went through last season with the assault, and being a highly visible player, around town as well, are there any challenges there, or has it altered just your day to day and just how present you are out there?
Yeah, I mean, last year was definitely tough because the amount of people that know you around campus, and we had to be very careful of that. So COVID definitely, had us realize the importance of this season and wanted to play it. And we were very careful of going out and being around town and being around people, and not even being around our own family members. So, being around town now is a lot more fun because you can actually interact with people, and we're not getting daily tested, and practices are a lot more fun too because we have a little break from being at Carver Hawkeye Arena now because we're able to go places and not just be arena apartment because that's basically what last year was. So this year is definitely kind of a lot brighter side to things, and we're thankful to be here where we're at.
How do you think you guys can play different from a stylistic standpoint than you have in recent years, especially because of depth? I mean, do you feel like there are things that you guys can do that you haven't been able to do?
Yeah, 100%. There's things that we definitely can change. We're playing with more depth. So, do we press more? Do we run faster? Do we run more than we already do? Defensively, do we change up coverages a little bit? I think all of this changes. We're not going to just play. We're not going to say, okay, we play this way and we're going to play that way regardless. We're going to make adjustments based on the personnel that we have. So I think with the team that we have different body types than we had last year. Last year we had Luka and Jack both kind of in the middle. 6'11", big, strong dudes. This year we're more long and athletic. 6'9", but way quick and fast, and really good jumpers like Keegan and Chris and Philip and whatnot. So I think that things definitely change based on your personnel, and I think that we'll do a good job of adapting to that. And as you said, kind of change the way that we defend, the way that we press, the way that we run, all of those things. We're still going to do most of what we do, but there will be some adjustments 100%.
How do you think will be different on the offensive end?
On the offensive end, I would just say, it's going to be, last year you can kind of pencil in, you're going to get 30 and 15 from Luka, so we'll start there. You might as well put it on the scoreboard when the game starts. So without that, you kind of have to figure out, okay, what are different ways we can score? I think we'll run more motion than we have in the past. We've always been a motion-based team, but with Luka, it would get to a point where it's like, okay, we'll just run more sets, just to get him the ball. But now, without that, I just think you'll see more movement, more motion, and more of an equal opportunity offense that's not as centered around. We've always been an equal opportunity offense, but one that's not as centered around one specific person. It'll be more, you might see J-Bo might get 30 one night, and then Keegan might get 22 the next night, and Patrick might get 17, and I might get 15. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of can move. I think it'll change people every single night. I think you might see different guys. At some point you got to have your consistency in there, but other than that, I think you're going to see a lot of changes in what happens just based on the offense that we run.
Jordan, what's the dynamic been like between you and Joe running 1 and 2 now?
Yeah, it's been fun. We played with each other for a little bit. My first senior year, and then a little bit second last year, and then this year we're playing a lot of 1 and 2 guard. It's been awesome because I'm able to help him along the way, being a point guard these last 4 or 5 years in the Big Ten, and using my experiences to help him out along the way. He's done a great job of adapting, and he's a great point guard to have because he understands the offense, understands when to go, when not to go, when someone's hot to get them the ball, and just basic stuff you should know as a point guard. And he already has that skill set to be there, to be great. So he's loading guys up, he's finding me in transition, and I think it's going to be a fun combo to play with him this year.
Has there been anyone in practice that you've seen can maybe pick up some of the shooting slack that you might have lost in Joe and CJ in the offseason?
Yeah, I think Keegan definitely has picked up his shooting ability a lot. He's been working on his game a lot this past offseason, and I think he's become a real threat from the three-point line this upcoming year. But we have some young guys coming in. Peyton, as a freshman, can really shoot the ball. And obviously having Austin Ash come back as well. He's one of the best shooters in the country. And I think he can actually do some damage this year when he's thrown in the game, and he could easily knock down 8 in the game. That's how well of a shooter he is. So Connor's been shooting the ball really well. Patrick's been shooting the ball really well. Patrick gained a lot of strength. Chris has been shooting the ball really well. You just go right down the line. Everyone's been working their game, and I think the 3-point shooters that we lost last year is definitely going to be made up this year.